Welcome to the Corona Hotel. You can check out, but you can never leave. So in this video, I'm going to talk about health and fitness at home in the coronavirus lockdown we're currently seeing in the UK. And watch to the end to see a bonus surprise. Now I've got to bear in mind and respectful to those who have died because of this virus. And we are going to be heading into recession, probably a depression, but it doesn't take away the human effect and impact the virus is having on people's lives. And as you can notice, everyone is panic buying. But the weird thing is, we produce in the UK more food than we will ever eat. So for the supermarkets, providing that they can meet demand with their suppliers and the suppliers are able to manufacture to demand, there is no shortage of food. There will be a shortage on the shelves because they can't keep everything in stock. So all you're doing is giving the supermarkets money. That's all you're doing, you're giving them money. And as a result, some people, vulnerable people, are going to be missing out. What we are starting to see in some supermarkets is rationing, preventing people to only having 2 of each item, things like that. I remember buying 2 bread rolls and walking out of the co-op with some old man giving me some dirty old look, as if to say, why does he need 2 French sticks? But yeah, each to their own, I suppose. But we cannot cast aspersions on people because we don't know their situations and lifestyles. If someone, for instance, has 5 or 6 kids, then for them going out shopping every day is a necessity for survival. The BBC estimate that the daily intake is going to go up by half. The average person eats 50% more than they actually realise, with men eating 1,000 calories more than they realise and women eating 800 calories more than they realise. People often misunderstand how many calories they're taking in or misrepresent them, and they often do not consider liquids to have calories, which they do. And because the effect it has in the body doesn't necessarily make you feel that satiated or full. One of 2 things is likely to happen. Firstly is that people will sit at home, get bored, be surrounded by food, and they will just eat more than probably usual, eat a lot more things that got carbs, things that are easy to digest, things that are in demand that you need effectively a hurricane or a lockdown. The second option is that people are going to get bored, so they will exercise more, and that's the one we're hoping for. Now there is a cop-out option, and that is both will happen. And fortunately or unfortunately, there will always be those who take advantage of it. There's going to be an opportunity involved, and that is content creation. James Hales and Per Nielsen report that content consumption has gone up by 60%. So more people are consuming online content, YouTube videos, TikTok, Netflix. But what are they watching? Are they watching it for boredom, or can we utilize this to help them? And there's many people who are going to utilize more creating home workout videos, and as a PT and online creator, there is now potential opportunity. Perfect positioning, keep that going. To advertise my services to people who need it. Basically the footfall of clients has decreased, but could we do more home online workouts? So many PTs are now offering home workouts, but there are free content available for you to consume and to help keep you fit. Generally, we are allowed outside unless you're living in Italy right now, in which case you're only allowed in the proximity of your own house or dwelling. Go for a run, go for a walk is possible as long as you're socially distancing from another person. Heavy social media use can equate to poor mental health, poor mental reasoning, anxiety. In some people, the pandemic is creating the anxiety, the uncertainty, not being able to control the situations around you. So my advice would be to focus on what you control, and there'll be a link down in the description and also in the references section of the BBC site that can help you with your anxiety in this situation, or if you have OCD. This is well beyond my pay grade. People are losing their jobs. They're not exactly keeping calm and carrying on necessarily. Being inundated with the information every day, Roy Labs is a great resource, but people are losing their jobs, there's stress, there's uncertainty, people not knowing how they might be able to pay the rent, businesses might not be able to pay their staff. For instance, at the gym I work for, they laid off every casual staff member, and that was an impact upon the boss itself, because she had been working with these people for years. Businesses are not being able to create money, therefore their staff cannot pay. job opportunities for jobs for certain areas are also maybe decreasing. People being laid off illegally. And yes, Britannia Hotels, I'm looking at you. People becoming homeless. Yes, Britannia Hotels, I'm still looking at you. Where there is darkness though, there is always a light. There is always an opportunity for someone to do well, do something for the community, or even to potentially see a business opportunity. However, unfortunately, there are many huskers out there who Del Boy-like characters who are utilising people's fear to sell them something that they don't need or does not work for them. And these products are potentially dangerous in some situations. For instance, I did a fitness class, general one we have on the gym floor every 9:30 and 10:30. This was the last day before we closed down. And I noticed one girl was wearing a waist trainer and said it to her politely why she was wearing it. And someone who she did a body transformation from said that it would help her lose sweat in order to lose weight. And that is potentially dangerous. That is bad advice. That is bro science 101. And people are selling these products to people based upon their fears of what is going to happen. Now, these initial sales will go down because maybe some people will spend more time buying the essentials, or what is perceived to be the essentials, than buying fitness products. Now, some online creators and personal trainers will miss out because maybe people will just buy the necessities after a while. And this market for online goods may be only reserved for those big businesses like Amazon. Now, fear makes your brain, and this is related to neuroplasticity, so it doesn't necessarily mean shrinking of the brain, that's probably the wrong analogy of it, but it certainly makes it less effective. Anxiety and the hormones related to it interfere with your communications within the brain, and also it takes up much mental thought and processing, therefore makes you less creative in a time when people need to be creative in order to survive this potential recession coming up. Like everyone else, athletes are too being affected by this. Just like the general public, athletes too are being prevented to train. Leisure centres and gyms, tracks are closing. This will ultimately affect their performance. For some, it may even affect their livelihoods. Some athletes are government funded, and that funding may be moved. The UK government stated that they will spend 350 billion on trying to protect the economy and jobs, but also fighting the virus. But this is an open checkbook, so more may be spent. That money that's being funded towards athletes may be moved and utilised for a better cause. For many athletes, that government funding allows them to train like a professional, allows them to do it as a full-time job. Therefore, this may impact their performance when or if the season starts. Athletes who are able to maintain their fitness and be innovative will do well when or if the season starts. Now, many economies like Italy are doing what they call fiscal easing or quantitative easing. This basically means printing more money. Now, this can be slightly problematic, as if it's done incorrectly, can increase the amount of debt the country has, but also decrease the value of their economy and currency. We've seen this in places like the Weimar Republic, Germany, and also in Zimbabwe, and the effects that has on the economy. This also leads to a breeding ground for quite extreme ideologies. But we're not going to talk about politics, that's as far as we're going to go. Bonus message. Even in dark times and your freedom's restricted, try and enjoy life.
So, Marie Antoinette.
This will help with your own mental health and well-being, as life still has to go on. This will help you take your mind off the situation and make you feel less anxious.
Reports now from Brussels. Well, sorry, I think it was the shock of the news that Eurovision was cancelled that I said that was Gavin Lee. That was, of course, Kevin Connolly reporting there. Yes, Eurovision moved to 2021. Apparently, this year's contestants are welcome to reapply, but the rules stipulate that you can't use this year's songs. I know. You're watching.
In nostra penseres senemente conosconte, nostros pensamientos si sentimientos están contigo. Our thoughts and feelings are with you and all those who are affected by Covid-19.